This is Johnny's absolutely insane Supra. Let's crack on and make this Supra an absolute weapon. So here it is as we started off with its blue hoses and its twin turbo and auto gearbox. And what we done is we removed the twins, the 4-speed auto, and we put it on an SRD single turbo kit with Garrett turbo, a fuel system, an ECU, an 8 HP gearbox, an ETS intercooler, and all the goodies that you need to make them an absolute weapon and a street car. With the Zestec steering wheel, all the functions are at your fingertips. We make sure we fabricate everything in-house, including the intercooler pipes and downpipe and everything else that you need to make sure it all fits. And this is the end result, a perfect street car that is fast and enjoyable to drive. So here I am out in Johnny's absolutely epic Supra. It's just been finished and we're doing all the last final checks. But Johnny, this Supra is insane. It's epic. It's the first one that has got a complete can-based Zestec steering wheel on a Mark IV, giving me carbon fibre paddles, really positive feel with their magnetic shifter design. The wheel feels great. Everything about this car just feels insane. So it's not too boomy, the exhaust, but with its ETS intercooler, its PSR turbo, an SRD turbo kit, drive-by-wire, 8 HP, it is just incredible to be in. That's the only words that I can describe. Another build, just incredible. The car feels super good. Brakes have got brand new UK spec front brakes on it with a new set of discs. But I am loving this car, absolutely loving this car. I've got full control over pretty much everything at the tip of my fingertips with this steering wheel. I've got rolling anti-lag, I've got all my boost control settings, I've got ASBO mode, I've got my traction control level. There is so much this steering wheel can do, and to make the car feel this good and to tune it with the weather conditions and what you're going to be using the car for. I've also got a few other gauges in here. I have got the 8 HP gauge so I can see what gear I'm in and what temperature the gearbox is, what sport mode I'm in. So there is so much that this car can do and I am super impressed with it. It's running on a Emtron ECU, this one. Johnny uses Emtron in all of his cars, his R34 and now the Supra, and it's taken a long time to map this car because there's a lot more going into it. The CAN bus network now is massive because we're controlling the gearbox with its CAN ECU, and we need all this data transfer between the gearbox, the engine, the torque management, the traction control, the steering wheel, all the other CAN networks in this car. So it's about as modern as you're going to bring a Mark IV Supra up to. It's just, but for me the car feels great. It's a pleasure to be in. With this turbo, it's as responsive as kind of a standard twin turbo Mark IV, but you get double the horsepower, maybe even a little bit more over that. This engine is a stock engine at the moment, not going to take it too far, but the 700 horsepower mark for a Mark IV Supra is the sweet spot. Now, I want to have some fun, but the roads are busy again. I wish I had my own private airfield. But it's just so good. It's so smooth. But I'm going to shut up so you can actually listen to what this Mark IV sounds like. I'm going to go for it. Let's go. Yes! This feels great. How many more map settings have I got? Have I got a full ASBO mode? Let's go, let's go! The traction control is saving me there. It wants to move around and dance around at the back, but the traction control is just enough just to pick up that little bit of wheel spin, but keep you straight so that you just go. Instead of spinning the wheels, just a little bit of traction control as it's moving. But the traction control works epically. Now that was on traction control 1. It's probably a 10% slip. So that was a 10% slip that on that traction control. We can turn it up more so there's more wheel spin, or we can turn it down. We can also do a torque-based management for power as well. So we're not going to be, just relying on boost. We can do lots of little things with it. But doesn't that sound good? It sounds really good. Hasn't got that flutter because it's got a dump valve on it. So for me, I like a no dump valve car, so we get lots of flutter when you're coming on and off the throttle. Just the sounds of this car. There's not much more that you can really want out of a Mark IV apart from the big turbo making loads of induction noise and then a good or lifting off. That is what the Mark IV is all about, isn't it? Big turbos and getting them to hook and getting them to go. The car is currently running a KW suspension setup. Johnny's decision to put the KWs on it. Now I've driven the car for probably 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes now. Now they've warmed up, they've quietened down, but when it was cold, going over bumps, I was hearing quite a lot of shock noise with the bumps that I was hitting. Now that is kind of normal. When the shocks warm up, they do normally quieten down, but it's not quite as good as the HKS Hypermax suspension and coilovers. So my advice would be, if you want the best, the HKS Hypermax work really, really well on the Mark IV Supras. Still a great suspension system, just not quite as good as the Hypermaxes. But should we see if I can do a rolling boost as well? Wow! Wow, this is real anti-lag, guys. We're ready to go now. We are ready to go. Doesn't that sound good? Just to press the button, I've got rolling anti-lag. Full cruise control as well with this car. So we've got our speed up, speed down, our set and resume as well, all on this Zestec steering wheel. This car is just a pleasure to be in. I cannot wait until Johnny picks this up and gives us his feedback of how this car drives, because I'm super happy. Mike, you've done an epic job at the setup on this car. I think it might be one of your best. It's just so smooth. You would never even know this car was modified. Got in and drove it, you would never know. It is so smooth to drive. And then when you go for it, it's got 700 horsepower. You don't need much more on that on a Supra. We all want more, we all want 1,000, but a 700 wheel horsepower car is fast. It is definitely fast. So my review of Johnny's car is, it's epic and it drives really, really well. So a lot of work's gone into that car. We spent a lot of time on it. We perfected it right at the end. Johnny's picked it up. He's really enjoying it. So thumbs up from all of us here at SRD. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. I'll do another review on one of our builds on the next one, but there's a lot coming up this year. We've got more GR Yaris's, more Supras, and generally a lot. There's a lot going on, including we have the Deluxe Supra coming in for a bit of an overhaul as well. So lots of cars, lots of content, and we'll be back on the next one. So peace out.